Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode of A Critic's Take. We have already attempted to address some of your concerns about COVID vaccination. However, as time passes and various developments take place, we are encountering an increasing number of questions that must be addressed appropriately. In this episode, we will try to find answers to some of the most pressing questions related to COVID-19 and mass vaccination. Let's go through them one by one. First and foremost, do the currently available vaccines result in producing stronger and deadlier coronaviruses? Are we, the human race on this planet, being subjected to experiments in the same way that chickens in the poultry farms are? Is vaccination going to be made a precondition for human survival in future? Beside these, we will also try to figure out what the distinction is between perfect and leaky vaccines. But first, let us attempt to understand another major source of concern. It seems there is a conflict within the World Health Organization regarding the use of vaccines to end the COVID pandemic. And this is undoubtedly a matter of concern. In the month of May this year, the WHO director stated that the pandemic would be over once 70% minimum vaccination coverage was achieved. 4 months later, in September, the World Health Organization Regional Director for Europe expressed doubts about vaccines' ability to end the COVID pandemic, citing new variants that have dashed hopes of achieving herd immunity. Herein lies the rub. Why is it that an apex body like the World Health Organization remains undecided on such a critical issue? Epidemiologists now believe that herd immunity cannot be achieved only through the use of vaccines, and they call it unrealistic. More debates are erupting around the issue of mass vaccination. Look at the screen. This gentleman is Robert Wallace Malone. He is an eminent American virologist and immunologist who invented the core mRNA vaccine technology some 30 years back. Robert Malone has questioned the Biden administration's mandatory vaccination strategy. Viewers are aware that the drug giant Pfizer developed its COVID vaccine by using mRNA technology and that it has obtained US FDA approval. So, Robert Malone's question cannot be classified as anti-vax psychosis. In an article published in Washington Times, Robert Malone, along with Peter K. Navarro, mentioned that the strategy to universally vaccinate people in the middle of the pandemic is bad science which needs to be reversed. So this gentleman, Peter K. Navarro, needs an introduction. He is Professor Emeritus of Economics and Public Policy at the University of California. He is a former assistant to the President and Director of the White House Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy. He was instrumental in ensuring that the vaccines were delivered on time at the White House. According to Malone and Navarro, such vaccination strategy is an arms race with the virus that could endanger the American people. America is well known for its arms race, which generates profits for large corporations while endangering the lives of millions around the world. However, in this case, what do they mean when they say it's an arms race with the virus? Scientifically, viruses have a long history of crossing over from one species to another. This is how they evolve. Over time, this evolution makes them more infectious and less pathogenic. That is, the virus will infect more people but will lose its ability to cause illness. A universal vaccination policy implemented in the midst of a pandemic, on the other hand, can turn this natural Darwinian taming process into a dangerous vaccine arms race. So what exactly is the point of this arms race? The point is, the more people you vaccinate, the more vaccine-resistant virus mutations are likely to come up. As a result, the vaccine will be less durable. You will then need to create a more potent vaccine. This will make the virus more tenacious, more stubborn. As a result, even more potent vaccines will be required and individuals will be exposed to an increasing number of risks. According to science, today's vaccines use novel gene therapy technologies to generate potent antigens. This directs the immune system to attack specific virus components, and when a person with a leaky vaccination becomes infected with a virus, a new variant of virus is selected to escape or resist the effects of the vaccine. Here, it is necessary to distinguish between perfect and leaky vaccines. Perfect vaccines are so named because they mimic the perfect immunity that humans develop naturally after being exposed to certain childhood diseases like smallpox, polio, mumps, rubella, measles, etc. When a vaccine works perfectly, it prevents vaccinated people from becoming ill and does not allow spreading the virus to others. Leaky vaccines, on the other hand, may provide anti-disease benefits to vaccinated individuals by extending survival or reducing disease symptoms, but do not prevent infection, replication, or transmission. Therefore, they are called imperfect vaccines, which may allow more virulent virus strains to circulate. Even natural selection will favor their spread if virulent strains have a higher transmission rate. They have a better ability to overcome host immunity. While studying a highly contagious viral disease that affects chickens and causes bird flu some years back, researchers at the Avian Oncogenic Virus Group in the United Kingdom concluded that imperfect vaccination can enhance the transmission of highly virulent pathogens. Vaccinated individuals may shed cumulatively higher amounts of virus, which are also highly virulent. The virulent virus could then be transmitted to unvaccinated people and can be lethal. The disease interventions, which are only aimed at preventing symptoms but not transmission, can have dangerous evolutionary consequences. As a result, the so-called life-saving vaccines currently being used against COVID may increase disease virulence. If the entire population is trained to have the same basic immune response through a universal vaccination strategy, then once a viral escape mutant is selected, it will rapidly spread throughout the entire population, whether vaccinated or not. Additionally, because the vaccines are only expected to provide 6 months of protection, universal booster shots will be required at 6 months interval. Under this background, please try to understand the story about the virus mutants like Delta mutant of coronavirus, etc. Scientists, physicians, and public health officials are now aware of the risk of COVID vaccines' known side effects. These side effects include serious cardiac and thrombotic conditions, menstrual cycle disruptions, Bell's palsy, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and anaphylaxis. These are uncommon but not insignificant. Repeated vaccinations, each with a minor risk, can add up to a significant risk. The controversy is that if you have a large hammer called vaccine, it is not always a good idea to use it on every nail. A universal vaccination strategy imposed by authoritarian measures under the guise of bad science is harmful and derogatory to humanity. People all over the world deserve much better than this. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you considered this video to be useful, please press the like button and share this with others. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so far. Please stay tuned for more details and updates. Thank you for watching this video.